Liverpool 2, Aston Villa 2, and Liverpool drop points again. A nervy win versus Wolves, but they only just got over the line, dropping points to Everton, dropping points to Aston Villa. That's 3 performances in a row where Liverpool have looked far from convincing. And if Arsenal win the game in hand versus West Ham, which is likely, the gap goes to 5 points, with Liverpool having Man City next. If they drew that game, which could have been acceptable had they won this game, that means the gap could go to 3 points. Arsenal and Liverpool have still got to play each other. This gives Arsenal a boost. This gives Arsenal encouragement. And while I still think Liverpool win the league, there is a drop-off. There is exhaustion there. There's an over-reliance on Salah to do it all in attack. Maybe the depth at Liverpool isn't that good because Slot clearly doesn't trust Endo enough because Gravenberch is exhausted. Chiesa, Slot clearly didn't want. It clearly isn't a Slot signing because why would Chiesa not get minutes? Harvey Elliott, who's a good player, he's not using. So we're going to talk about Liverpool because I think Slot has some problems and we need to talk about them. I think there's a couple issues at Liverpool. And we're going to talk about what could be going wrong at Liverpool, what my stance is on that. But I'm also going to talk about my thoughts on the game because Liverpool did enough to win the game. I think it was I know Liverpool's XG. I mean, XG philosophy has it like this. Liverpool, if they took their chances, they win the game 3-2. And maybe Liverpool probably should have won the game. But I felt that Villa gave them the game. I felt like Villa made it difficult. I felt that it wasn't a walk in the park for Liverpool. Now, Jota probably should have scored. But this. I don't know how he misses that. I don't know how he misses that. I mean, this angle, Darwin Nunez. I mean, we've got to have a conversation about Darwin Nunez. Not even just that. I remember the pass he made as well. That was just as bad as the finish. In terms of a striker cameo, that performance from Darwin Nunez, it's made me appreciate Rasmus Højlund this season. That's how bad that cameo was. That was shocking. It almost was like he was an agent for Arsenal. You know me. I don't jump on the bandwagons when every fan starts giving the player stick. I've said that, Raheem Sterling last weekend, I said, yeah, he was awful. There's times where Raheem Sterling's got stick and he's like, yeah, he was meh. But at the weekend, he was awful. There's times where Nunez has got stick and he's like, yeah, he was meh. But yeah, today, Nunez was atrocious. And even when he missed laughing, Nunez is someone that I said, not been good enough, but he comes off, he works hard, he runs, and he gives something. Today, didn't give it. He didn't give it. Salah's there, running, giving it. Salah wants it. Nunez just didn't want it today for me. We're going to talk about Chiesa and his lack of minutes. We're going to talk about Nunez, because it almost was like he was playing against Liverpool. I cannot understand how you missed that. And we're going to talk about FSG, because I'm going to say one thing. Arne Slot's not been backed. Mohamed and Chiesa. He clearly didn't want Chiesa, and Mohamed is a long-term thing. Liverpool were top of the league, and I understand Liverpool not signing a player if they don't think the right player's available. I get that. But Liverpool have this, you've got Conor Bradley, you've got, Kwanzaa, you've got Harvey Elliott, you've got Chiesa, you've got Nunez, you've got Jota on your bench. But he clearly doesn't trust a lot of his players. He trusts Curtis Jones that's sometimes on the bench. He trusts Jota that's sometimes on the bench. I think his best front three he sees is Gakpo, Diaz, Salah. Nunez, I don't know if he trusts him. Chiesa clearly doesn't rate. Harvey Elliott doesn't rate that much, clearly. Endo, he clearly doesn't trust. Endo, Harvey Elliott, maybe Liverpool's depth isn't as good as we first thought. Because why isn't Chiesa getting minutes? Why is, Endo and Harvey Elliott barely getting minutes? You have to look at that and say, actually, other than Conor Bradley and Curtis Jones and Jota, there's not many players that come off the bench for Liverpool. And Curtis Jones starts a lot of games. So let's go back into the game. I'm going to give you my general thoughts on Liverpool. I'm going to give you my thoughts on the game because I want to talk about Salah, because Salah was unbelievable today, not just because of the goals and assists, but Salah's all-round performance was incredible today. So I do want to talk about Mohamed Salah. I also want to touch upon Trent and Nunez and a couple of things, but I want to talk about my thoughts on the performance. I want to talk about my thoughts on Liverpool and what's going on right now. Salah, Van Dijk and Gravenberch, who's now exhausted. And I just think Endo's a good player. This is my biggest question marks of Slot as a Man United fan looking in. Endo's a good player and he's had good cameos. Just take Gravenberch off with 20 minutes to go and give Endo that. That's what I just think. Chiesa and Endo have shown enough for me to think that Slot should give them more. And Harvey Elliott, we've seen what he can do in the past. But Gravenberch's exhausted, but Salah, Van Dijk and Gravenberch are key to why Liverpool are top of the league. And Salah was doing everything today. There's been games where, Van Dijk's been unbelievable and he's been key to Liverpool getting those 3 points. Today it was Salah. I felt that Liverpool's attack was out of form, apart from Salah. I think Gakpo and Salah, and Diaz had a good game last game against Wolves, but Liverpool's attack sort of form dropping. Jota's sort of slipped out of form, maybe because of the injuries. And I do rate Jota. Nunez has been poor. You think maybe the Brentford goal's given the confidence back to the same old Nunez. Liverpool did enough and they created enough chances to win the game. Jota probably should have scored. Nunez has to score that. It's harder to miss. It's like he was playing for the other team. It's harder to miss that chance. And only Gakpo and Salah seem clinical at the moment. I think Gakpo was missed today, not just because of his output, him getting goals and assists, but his movement, him providing a passing option. He gets in good positions, but also Gakpo is very good at tracking runners and actually doing a lot of good out possession work. I thought Szoboszlai had a good game. He ran his heart out today. He wanted it. He showed the desire. I thought McAllister was probably Liverpool's best midfielder again. I thought Gravenberch looked exhausted. But I think this is a game where Liverpool just need to get those 3 points because they've got City and they've got Newcastle next, and they're difficult games. And if you get 3 points today, you can afford to drop 2 points at the Etihad. Now, Liverpool might say, look, City are fantastic versus Newcastle. Real Madrid gave them a humbling. City are still gettable. I think they look better, but they're still gettable. And I still think Liverpool beat City. I have a feeling that you guys will. But this now means if Arsenal beat West Ham, which I expect Arsenal to beat West Ham, they seem to thrash West Ham at the moment, but you never know. Graham Potter could do something. That's a 5-point gap. And then if you drop points to City, that could be a 3-point gap, that could be a 2-point gap, and you've still got to play Arsenal, and you've got Newcastle next, who have dropped off in form and a difficult game. And all of a sudden, in the space of 2 weeks, it's gone from Liverpool, we're going to walk away with the title. Kai Havertz out for the rest of the season. Martinelli's out, Saka's out. Saka will probably be back in a couple of weeks. Arsenal might have found a solution with Mourinho. As a neutral who probably would rather Arsenal win the title, actually I would rather Arsenal win the title because the thought of equaling our 20 titles makes me feel sick. Although Arsenal fans are the most irritating online. I will say that. Arsenal fans are so unbearable online. I just hope Nottingham Forest can do something. But there's a possibility that this race is on. This gives Arsenal encouragement. But as I'm going to say, 37 minutes all season for Chiesa. That's crazy. That's absolutely crazy because I think he would have had a better game than Darwin Nunez today. I don't think he could have had a worse game. I'm going to be honest. But Liverpool looking shaky. They're starting to underperform. Performances aren't as convincing. Even the win versus Wolves wasn't particularly convincing. And it's sort of what this time last year, but I think it was March that it hit Liverpool after the 3-0 defeat to Atalanta. You sort of fell off a bit. Are you having that fall off where the exhaustion's there, the players have been run to the ground? Is there a mentality thing in the squad when they get a bit nervy and you drop out of the title race? Have you got that Tottenham mentality, I'd call it? That's the big question. You have to question Slot at times. I think Slot's done an incredible job this season. He's not been backed. I'm going to talk about that. I think FSG have not backed Slot. I think, he deserves more backing. I think FSG has lied to Slot. I think Slot didn't want Chiesa and they probably brought him for him because Chiesa playing 37 minutes in the league all season when Gakpo's out and Darwin Nunez is putting in performances like that. You do have to question it. You do have to question it. So this is a huge week. This time next week, Liverpool could win both of these games. Arsenal could drop points, and that's the league wrapped up. This time next week, Liverpool could drop points in these games. Arsenal could win both the games, and the title could look different. There could be 1 or 2 points in it. It could be Arsenal really on Liverpool's tail. But yeah, the Darwin Nunez miss was crazy, and it was probably one of the worst performances I've seen. It was so bad. It was the pass as well. 0 out of 1 passes. 0 out of 2 ground duels. It was like Arteta had rung him up and said, I'll give you some money. Honestly, you'd think he was an Arsenal player on the pitch with that performance. It was the biggest chance of the game missed. Not a single dribble, not a single pass, not a single duel one. Lost possession 5 times, 9 touches. The passing was as bad as everything. The pass was just... I can't lie. As a Man United fan, it's just funny. That was one of the worst performances I've seen. But let me tell you my general thoughts. Slot not backed. He does not trust Endo. And I think Endo deserves more trust. I like Endo. Gravenberch's been amazing but exhausted. Chiesa clearly isn't a Slot signing because he's fully fit by now. I'm not sure what the excuses are. He's looking like a Donny van de Beek type situation. Depth not as good as it could be because Slot clearly doesn't trust a lot of the players on the bench. So I think are decent players, but I don't think he trusts Kwanzaa. I don't think he trusts Harvey Elliott. I don't think he trusts... Nunez, to be honest. Definitely doesn't trust Chiesa. And therefore, players that you think, that makes good squad depth. But actually, if the manager doesn't trust them and isn't going to give them the minutes, what's the point? Nunez is just not good enough in the big moments. And probably not good enough for Liverpool. Yeah, I think just you look at the quality of forwards in the Premier League, and I think Nunez has had good moments and he works hard. And he's a confidence player, but he's not been good enough for Liverpool. They have to move him on in the summer. Trent was jogging. I think his head's in Madrid, to be honest with Trent. I don't think he's been at his very best lately. Liverpool need a striker. They need a long-term Nunez replacement. They need a left centre-back because they never replaced Matip, and just someone because I think Kwanzaa will go on loan. I think he doesn't. Konate has injury issues, and I think he'll want someone to rotate in there. They need a left centre-back. DM backup that he trusts for Gravenberch because Gravenberch's exhausted, and left back to replace Robbo, and probably another right back with Trent going. Arsenal have 0 strikers, so Liverpool should win the league from here. But look, they look fatigued. The performances aren't convincing. It gives Arsenal that hope. Yeah, interesting thoughts. So I've sort of made some notes on what could be going wrong for Liverpool, although I put it in the wrong section. But I quickly want to talk about Salah before I end the video because it wasn't all doom and gloom. Liverpool could have won that game. Nunez puts that chance where you guys win 3-2. The point that it's now 10 points ahead of Arsenal. Then if they close the gap at 7. You're in a much better position going into the City game. You're going to be nervy going to City game, but Mohamed Salah, look at this. Mohamed Salah, incredible season, just keeps going. He's now been directly involved in 39 games in just 26 Premier League matches in 2024-25 and is closing in on the record for the most goals and assists in a 38 game PL campaign. What's going on? 24 goals and 15 assists. Mo Salah's contributed to more goals than Man United scored this season, which is very depressing as a Man United fan. 39 goal contributions. He is 5 away from the all-time record. All I'm going to say is thank you for the FPL points. He's got, I think, 49 GA in all comp. The forward is the first player to score and assist in 10 different games in one of Europe's big leagues in a season since Lionel Messi in the 2014-15 season, and the first player with 15 plus goals and 15 plus assists in the Premier League season since Eden Hazard in 18-19. He's equalled Steve McManaman's record for the most assists in a PL campaign for Liverpool and become just the third player to assist 10 plus goals in away games in a Premier League season after Mazi Azet in 2003-04 and Cesc Fabregas in 2014-15. Mo Salah, disrespected. Mo Salah still gets criticism this season. Oh, he doesn't get goals and assists, he doesn't do this, doesn't do that. Mo Salah is an all-timer. Accept it. He might not be your favourite player to watch, but he's an all-timer. He is on Ballon d'Or form. If Anthony's doing that in La Liga, can we really talk about Rafinha winning the Ballon d'Or? Put some respect on Mo Salah's name. I'm saying this as a Man United fan. Mo Salah is an all-timer. That is not normal. Goals and assists this, goals and assists that. Watch it with your eyes. Goals and assists is how you win games. Mo Salah wins games. Mo Salah wins titles. That's that aspect of football. All-timer player. It's ridiculous. You look at as well, 3 goal contributions in a 3-3 draw against Newcastle, 2 goal contributions in the Everton 2-2 draw, and 2 goal contributions away at Villa. Look what he's doing to Liverpool. And he's been let down by the players around him. He's been let down by Jota missing, particularly by Darwin Nunez today. Because as I said here in my notes, Salah was man of the match. Today he took his chance as well. He scored a key goal. He kept the ball well. He made a few nice passes, was direct, was running at Villa, getting into space, opening up space. He wants the ball. He wants to score. He wants to win. Nunez, who I think usually runs his heart out today, didn't. Salah showed 10 times more desire than Nunez today. Liverpool, too reliant on Salah. Gakpo, I think, with his output can ease that. But Salah's carrying the attack. And Salah's going to have to do this for the next 12 games with no rest. If Salah gets an injury, then Liverpool are definitely in trouble. Salah and Van Dijk are so key to how your season goes from here on. Anyway, let me know your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching today's video. See you next time. Bye.